Man, Monarch, how big is your freaking model? A terabyte?
She's
Jesus.
big. 108 megabytes.
God damn! You got a fat model, dog!
Look at this ass! Look at this booty! I don't know what model this is. It's 162 megabytes.
Holy bro, you're almost at 200! God damn!
That is.
Lose some data! Holy shit, man! Welcome to the first episode of Scuff and Stuff. I'm CyYu.
And I'm Monarch.
And today we're talking about VTubers. How long have you been VTubing? Because I'm almost at 3 years.
I'm almost at 3 years as well. December 11th will be my 3rd year.
Mine's in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess both of us technically, like 2.5, almost 3 years. Today's episode is all about VTubing, and you guys asked some questions over on Twitter as always that we have pulled from. But I think we should maybe start with the ones that we always get up front. And Rosie over on Twitter asked, how much does VTubing cost, like model rigs and all that silly stuff? But I'd like to also talk about how we get the models made, because that's asked like on every single TikTok that I ever get.
There's a difference between 2D and 3D. These answers we're about to give are all in regards to 2D models, not 3D.
And 2D is what you see right now. It's just like a flat model that has motion. Just because it has motion doesn't mean it's 3D. It's technically, we can't like turn around. I can't like show you my booty right now, you know? There is no magical app. I wish that there was an app where I could just go beep boop boop bop, this hair, these eyes, this body, this outfit. No, everything is fully customized and drawn by hand by an artist that we hire.
Not by me.
No, not by me. I wish that I was this talented. There are so many, hundreds of artists out there, and they all range in price. I will just say, for me, my models usually range 8 to 10K. It's very expensive.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm just gonna be fully transparent here. They are expensive models, but they're expensive because we do everything. You don't need to spend that much, and I actually don't recommend getting a model that expensive if you're just starting out and have never streamed before, but that's just where we are at.
I mean, when I first started out with VTubing, I mean, my model didn't have legs because I didn't even know if I was gonna do it, you know, if I wasn't sure if I liked it. The art itself, I want to say like $1,000, and then the rig was like maybe 600 because I also didn't have a lot of toggles.
Right.
Now, I know it's not cheap for me, especially like if you're going to do VTubing, and this also applies to like voiceover or anything that you might be interested in, try it out. You know, it is an expensive thing. So if you're wanting to get into VTubing, PNG tubing is a great thing to start off. It can be very expensive, so it's just make sure it's something you really want to do.
But yeah, it's all painstakingly hand done, but you're supporting incredible artists and teams.
And when it comes to the rig, I think we use the same people, right? The same team.
Yeah, we use Iron Vortex as our team. Also, I'm not sure how long your model took.
My first model, I guess it was like, it had to have been like 7 months.
My first model took over a year from concept to art to rigging. So it's also a long process because it is so painstakingly done hand by hand.
If you're having trouble looking for artists, like obviously, I usually go through Twitter because the artists are usually there. But then there's also VGen, which is a hub where a lot of artists, like from like VTubers to emotes to like alerts, like they're all there. By Mevi, what inspired you both becoming VTubers, and were you both nervous to start out as indie VTubers?
So you started first, actually. I mean, because you debuted first.
I mean, I was very nervous because my original thing was CyYu was not the original VTuber model. The original VTuber model was going to be just like a Muppet version of a character I voiced, just as a fun gag for my old YouTube channel. And then when I tweeted about it, Mouse hit me up and they're like, you have to do VTubing. And I was like, oh. And she's like, you should do it. I'll help you. I'll connect you to people. And I was like, okay. I mean, I've always needed a mascot for Weeby at the time, which is now CyYu, or CyYu Music. And I was like, okay, well, worst case scenario, I have a mascot for my cover band. Best case scenario, I have a mascot for my cover band and I'm a VTuber.
Oh, it's so cute that Mousy was like, oh, that's so cute. So I've been doing covers for like 18 years and I've always had a persona. The self-insert, I got made fun of it for so long. And now look at us, we're all self-inserting.
What whole weeb.
Starting the trend. When VTubing became a thing, watching, I think it was the first Hollow Girls that launched. And I remember I saw their debuts and I saw their announcements and I was like, oh my God, I can actually be an anime girl. I can actually have a model that moves. Because I was streaming at the time as a face camera and I hated it because I hated doing my makeup and having, you know, to get dressed and all the comments are, you look tired today. And it drove me crazy. I was like, I love streaming. I hate being on camera. So when VTubing became a thing, I was like, oh my God, I can just stream and have a model. I immediately started talking to my team. And I also just love the idea of forming lore. I'm really into D&D and stuff and creating characters. So Fanimation Mike over on Twitter did ask if a voice actor wants to eventually become a VTuber, should they start out as an on-camera creator first? Which I thought was an interesting question. And no, I think you can just start streaming with whatever you have.
I've gotten this question at like conventions. Do you have to be a content creator to be a voice actor? And I'm like, no,
yeah.
And the same goes for VTubing. You don't have to be a voice actor to be a VTuber. You don't have to be a VTuber to be a voice actor. If you want to do that, it just depends what route you want to go.
Like you can be any of those things independently. That's just what we happen to do because we just like doing multiple things. I just get bored. I have to do a million things. Otherwise my brain tells me that I'm not good enough.
Speaking to the choir.
Right.
Preaching over here.
Sometimes I'll be so tired because I'm just like, my day is full of shit and I'll like lay down, close my eyes, and then like my eyes will open because it's like, I'm not doing enough. I will mention that many voice actor friends of mine, and I believe CyYu's as well, have talked about getting into VTubing, and I back it. If any of my friends or mutuals hear this and want to get into VTubing, let me help you. I'll set you on the right track. I'm very excited for more people to get into VTubing. It's really fun to do. You know, there will always be slow parts in our careers as artists, and I think it's fun to have something else creative to do on the side.
You know, there's so many creatives out there, and I'm like, you're combining your two loves? Yeah, absolutely. Put them together, and then
I would love to see more interesting VTubers too, like people who do take their hobbies and kind of incorporate them.
This one is from Fender Fox. How do you prioritize growth without taking the fun out of it? Most, if not all, VTubers want to grow, especially at first. However, I feel like focusing too much on doing things that are meta or algorithm friendly makes it feel less genuine. How do you strike a balance?
I think it's an important mesh of the two of them. Most and foremost, it's very important to do what you love because the audience can tell. I can tell when someone doesn't want to be on stream and doesn't want to do something. And also, it's going to make it a chore for you, and you're going to fall out of love with it. Pico Park. Yeah, when we were playing Pico Park. See, we ended that. We were over it. I think it's very important to notice that.
There is some validity to it, because I'm going to be honest. When I first started VTubing, I did play the algorithm game.
I did too.
I think what folks who are in this biz, who are wanting to do VTubing and all that stuff, hell, even just content creation, they sleep on uploading on everything.
Yes.
Right? You will not see any growth if you're starting from nothing and only stream. You have to like either put yourself on like TikTok, on Instagram Reels, on YouTube Shorts, because if you don't, and a perfect example is like whenever we go to cons, I have so many people approach me being like, I saw you on TikTok. I saw you on Instagram. I saw you on YouTube Shorts.
And I go, do you come to stream? And they say no.
Some folks just like to see the funny bits, and that's okay.
I think it's important to have content that is digestible for every single type of viewer. Yeah, 100%. We can have the streams for people that like watching streams live. We can have the VODs for people who just want to watch it after work, watch a whole 4 or 5 hour stream. People that don't have time for that, just want to watch a 10-minute version, have your highlights, have your clips, have your short little people who are only on TikTok who are maybe younger. And I think it's important also to do other stuff, do some covers, do some music. Everything that you can do, you're hitting a different audience. I mean, the age-old don't put all your eggs in one basket. You have to do it all. And why not? Why not? Like TikToks, you can upload that to YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. It's the same content, just on a different platform. It's exhausting, though. I will say it's a lot of work.
Time management is important. Have a calendar. Have a calendar.
You don't want to ever pigeonhole yourself. You don't want to ever really niche yourself. You want to obviously have your things that are niche that people find interesting and unique about you. Like for us, like the voice acting's a thing, the singing's a thing. Do as much as you can. I like to call it spaghetti at the wall in the beginning to see what sticks.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, just do it all to see what works for you. Because the algorithm's one algorithm on one platform is gonna like you for something. Okay, talking about some Scuff. Let's see. Dual Trainer Neon over on Twitter. What are the most common difficulties you've encountered with rigging / stream setup? Which leads really nicely. Yeah.
What are the most difficult things?
Interesting you should ask. I wouldn't know anything about things that are difficult or like Scuff or anything. Like that's just not really my kind of problem. I know people do have that problem. I'm so glad it's not me. Really just blessed. I mean, there was that one time that I was on my ending soon screen for like an hour and you had to text me. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I was like, hey, brother, did you know you're still alive?
I was like, huh? I was like in my bath. Like I was relaxing. I was like, I got out. I rushed over to my PC. I will just say, as a disclaimer, everybody gets Scuff. You get Scuff. You get Scuff. You get Scuff. You cannot fear the Scuff God because he will meet you one way or the other. All of us do. Yeah.
Technical issues will happen regardless. So if you're dealing with tech issues, it's okay. Take a breather. Don't freak out. You're gonna be fine. It's an easy fix. It is irritating, I won't lie, and it can be frustrating, but you got this shit. It's half the time it is literally turning it off and turning it back on. And speaking of bits and chaos, this next question is for you specifically because I don't have this. I think this was answered, but I'm curious. Why do you use 2 PCs instead of one when VTubing?
So my model is just really large. She's just a very, very large model. She's just a big lady. She's a big gal. So I run her and my stream on one PC and I cannot run anything else. So I have a whole other PC just for the game.
But that is the thing, right? As complicated as what you're doing sounds, it is probably the right thing to do when you have a model that is so large and like data. The other thing you could do is get a super powerful computer, but then you're literally going to pay like 5K, if not more. Man, Monarch, how big is your freaking model? A terabyte? Jesus. Big. I just looked at mine and it is 77 megabytes.
Damn, 108 megabytes.
God damn, that's a fat model, bro.
How large is yours?
We got a fat model, dog.
Look at this ass. Look at this booty. Look at this booty.
Where? That's
I'm
all
the big fish. I don't know what model this is. It's 162 megabytes.
Holy bro, you're almost at 200. God damn.
That is.
Lose some data. Holy shit, man.
Oh, did they talk about recording equipment and programs they use? That's a great question. I feel like a lot of people use the same programs. Streaming wise, there's Streamlab Elements, which is what I've started on.
If you're using 2D, usually the program you go to is VTube Studio because that seems to be the program that everybody uses.
I would recommend an iPhone for the face technology, and I saw some questions about that, and it's because of the built-in facial recognition software that the phones have. They just have the best software right now.
You don't have to get the latest iPhone or whatever. You can get like an older one. Just make sure to do your research and see which one has facial recognition. But if you're starting out and if you got a webcam and your webcam works, then you don't have to get an iPhone. Hell, you don't even have to get an iPhone when you're deep into the trenches.
I highly recommend giving it a shot if you want to get into VTubing. Even just making a character is fun. You don't even have to stream to be a VTuber. You can do other stuff, other content stuff.
Make your OC a reality, because honestly, mine is based off Mega Man. I just want to make stuff that I thought was cool.
Just make sure that whatever you have is 100% your own and that you're not infringing 1000%. On somebody else's property or stuff. You gotta watch out for the old copyright.
Better watch out for
that old copyright.
Thank you for listening to the Scuff and Stuff podcast, episode 1. Totally the first episode. It always is the first
and
episode.
And definitely not the 4th episode.
Make sure to check us out live whenever the hell we can because we're crazy and busy individuals.
But we're on everything, every single social media. You can find us. Goodbye.
Goodbye.